Hey there, Mark Satterfield here. Thanks so much for joining me. If you're watching live, that's cool. Although I don't quite know how you'd be watching this live because I don't like do anything up front before I go live. I just kind of like go live and I go live at different times during the day. So your ability to actually see me live is probably pretty negligible. So I guess most of you are watching this in when I'm recording it, but that's totally cool, and I'm really appreciative that you're taking time out of your schedule to watch this, regardless of whether it's live or not. Could be kind of one of those "Where's Waldo? What time will Mark appear today?" Anyway, wanted to talk to you today about prospecting sucks and how to make it less sucky. I think, the process of getting more new affluent clients, a little bit like getting married. I don't know about you, but after my first divorce, I spent about a year and a half dating, and I had a lot of fun for a while. But then, it got pretty tiresome. I guess got tired of going through the getting to know you, same questions over and over again. And I really wanted a relationship. I wanted to settle down. Kind of had gotten the proverbial wild oats sword, went through the divorce crazies, all that stuff, and I really wanted to have, a girlfriend and a committed relationship, but man, going through the process of finding that person, that just was, an enormous pain in the tuchus. I just kind of wanted this person to arrive fully formed and, to have us be simpatico. It's kind of that way with clients, at least for most of us. We want to have a client and we want to have that relationship. We want to have that engagement. We want to be, working and, being helpful and helping our clients achieve whatever it is that they're trying to achieve. But the process of actually getting them, that isn't as much fun. Unless, of course, you're one of these crazy people like me who's, a marketer and I just think the whole thing's a hoot. So, but I get where I get where you're coming from. So, I think that I want to share two things with you, and I cover this in a bit more detail in the article, and there's a link right below this video, which will take you to the article. But I think there's two things to think about. One, I'll back it up. We look at this as basically having two big components. One, we got to get prospects to raise their hand and express that initial interest in you. And then second of all, we got to convert them into actual paying clients. So first things first, how do we get the prospects to raise their hand? And look, there's lots and lots of ways to do that. You can do, social media posting. I mean, I've got a friend who does pretty much all of her lead generation just through Instagram. You can do Facebook advertising. We generate an awful lot of our leads through Facebook advertising. You can do LinkedIn articles. I publish something on LinkedIn, pretty much every day. If you're not connected to me on LinkedIn, you ought to be. Specifically, you ought to become a subscriber to my newsletter because I publish stuff every day. And if you're kind of into this and you enjoy my stuff, that's the way to stay connected. You can go to networking events. And I'm not the most group social person, and it's not my preferred jam, especially since I quit drinking. I don't find those things to be as enjoyable as I did before. But I'll do them occasionally. You can do direct mail. You can do. I've got a friend who does postcards and is killing it with that. I've got friends that are on the lecture circuit, and they generate their prospects by speaking, and of course there's books, and if you've been on my list for any length of time, you know that I'm just a huge proponent of writing a book because even though we're in a world of viewers and not readers, there's just this outsized benefit that we get from a credibility standpoint when you write a book. And you know the if we look at who the wealthy do business with, and it's three groups of people: people they know, people who are referred to them by people they know, and recognized experts in their field. Now, ideally, we want to be in all three of those categories, but if you can get into group number three by being that recognized expert in your field, and nothing propels you more than a book. So books are a great lead generation tool and a great credibility. So, you can do all sorts of different things to generate prospects. The key is finding something that isn't, well, ideally finding something that you enjoy doing, but barring that, finding something that isn't, this enormous pain in the ass. And that's how you generate the prospects, getting them to raise their hand and express initial interest. Now, the second thing, and it's a different thing, is how do we get these people then to actually become paying clients? Well, don't confuse the two. Don't, have your first message out of the box be, hey, want to buy my stuff. I mean, you wouldn't say that, but, I get a lot of emails and messages that basically is that. They put it a little bit more elegantly, but that's it. But you got to think about this as two steps. First, get them to raise their hand. Second, how do you get them to convert into paying clients? And the real key for that, the thing that people just don't do a good enough job at, is following up, staying in contact with them. And I talk about that in more detail in the article. And as I say, the link's right below this video. So check it out. Subscribe to the newsletter. There's lots of good stuff, and I think you'll find it to be enormously helpful. So that's what I got for you today. And as always, thank you so much for taking time out of your day to watch this. And until we have a chance to perhaps speak personally someday, this is Mark Satterfield. Bye for now.